here we are. Now, second problem, we just solved this. Oh yeah, I just forgot to show the solution for that. In the solution, they actually stuck by without using the aggregates or the group by. I'm pretty sure we got the same answer. I want to see which one tested that for the sake of it. So we got this shit 2013, 1204. Check that out. Yeah, pretty much. Cool. Now, let's move on to the second. So, find the total sales in USD for each account. So what that would look like is basically for each account, we're trying to get the total amount present in the table. Now, now one way would be to, okay, so let's get cracking on the actual objective of the question, and then I'll start exploring how I would have, like, where I would have made wrong queries. So sales and we got the account and sales, right? So account and orders. So we gotta join two tables. Of course, nonetheless, none other than the two tables. So we got orders, and we're gonna join it with accounts, and we're gonna put up an alias for this, and let's go move on a dot id equals o dot account id. Okay. Okay. And so now that we have the whole data set, now we're trying to find the total sales now in each account. So if it's going to be each account, it's going to pretty much be a group by, because now we've got to group by each and every account, and we got to see the total sales. Group by, so that's going to look like a dot name. Correct. And let's go ahead and select our columns, and this is basically going to look like company name. So basically account dot name. Let's do name first, although name's second in this. And then total sales for each company's order. Now, a naive me would have, without putting in the aggregate, let's see how let's put in the aggregate, let's do the actual problem, and then I'll see what the answer will look like without the aggregate function. So aggregate, because it's the total sales of each company's order, so we're going to use a sum operator, the sum function, and it's going to be o dot, O dot total sales for each company. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that's gonna be the total amount USD. So that looks like, because an account can have multiple orders, which is gonna account to different types of total USD amounts. Now, if you just were to sum up all that total amount, USD amount, that would give us what we are looking for, perhaps. Let's go ahead and test this query out, and here we are. Amazing. Now, I just want to see how the query changes if we were not to use the aggregate function sum. So this would really present is this. I'm assuming this would present two columns, of course, the account name and the order of the total sums. Now it's going to show us actually for every single order, it's going to repeat. It could potentially repeat the account name if the account has done more than one order. So, if I was to remove this, right? So this is what I meant. Right. And now previously, what I couldn't understand was, sorry, just before I move on to that. So this is what it's producing, right? And like I said, an account could have made multiple orders throughout the year. So that's what it's showing. Now, one problem that I had earlier was if I just stuck a sum here, why did it always require me to put in a dot name and group by? Like, I couldn't understand that. And what that's really doing is that, so you have the two columns. Um, you have the two columns in which one is a total sum of, let's say, the total sum of this entire in the entire order table is that. Now, if I was to add on a dot name, we have this one entry in the sum, but then that's going to continue. But this column technically will continue providing us all the account names, but they're not going to have any um, record or fields for sum because the sum is this sum is basically the total of all the sales that have happened um, in that table or in that orders table. So why it makes sense to put group by is because now it's gonna take apart this number and divide it according to the amount of groups and group it by the amount of account names that there are. So what that's going to give us then is essentially how much total order amount each company has given, each account has given us. Fair enough. All right, let's move on.